Hi everyone, David here. It's been about 4 years now since I've made my last YouTube video, and a lot has changed for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you. This is just going to be a quick video. I'm just going to kind of be talking about maybe some ideas that I have, kind of where I've been and where I might want to go in the future as far as this whole content philosophy video creation stuff. So I guess to start off, I always had an interest in teaching, and I always had an interest in videos that were dedicated to the subject matter that I like so much, which is philosophy. But there were some things that discouraged me from continuing that. One of the things that I found was it was very expensive back in 2016 when I was first doing it. And one of the reasons for that is I was doing it all wrong. I had a guy who I hired as a cameraman, and no offense to him, he's very talented, but quite frankly, he didn't do what I wanted. He had all these weird camera angles, and just the way that he would shoot things was not what I had ever envisioned. And so I've been taking stock over the last 4 years. Okay, if I wanted to get back into making philosophy videos, how would I do it? And right now, you know, I got one page of notes ahead of me. So this isn't going to be very polished or anything. I'm just spitballing. I'm just shooting off ideas right now. But what I found when I was making these videos is that I enjoyed the subject matter, but that one, I didn't have enough time to do it, and two, I didn't have enough money. And again, all of that was because I was doing it wrong. I was relying on a guy to go through and edit videos after shooting them, and I'd have to wait weeks, sometimes months, just so that he would get everything done that he was assigned. And I was not number one on his priority list. I'll tell you, he had a lot of other people he was trying to help, a lot of other people he was working with. So doing it myself. I really like the music for my other videos. I may go back to that. I haven't made up my mind. But on the other hand, I haven't made up my mind that I want to keep making videos. Because while I love the subject matter, for one thing, I don't know who of my subscribers are interested. Now, I'll tell you what prompted me to do this in the first place was I took a look at my YouTube analytics in my emails, and I was finding out that every so often, you know, every couple of months or so, I would get a new subscriber, which, you know, whatever. I'm not a competitive content creator. I haven't made a video in 4 years, so I'm not surprised by the fact that I have the numbers of subscribers that I do. What surprised me was the fact that I have any subscribers, that people are being added to my list of subscribers, despite the fact that I haven't made any videos. So, among other things, what that tells me is that there is a hunger out there for this kind of material. And I don't know entirely what that means as far as me and what I'm going to do. I've noticed that despite the fact that I haven't been active making videos, I have been making comments on other channels from time to time. So perhaps you haven't seen my videos, but you saw my comments, and so you decide to subscribe to me. Who knows, right? At this point, I don't know any of that stuff. So this is just me getting my feelers out there, trying to see who is still interested in this stuff, right? Who wants philosophy content? Yeah. So one of the things that I'd like to know is, what is it philosophy-wise that you are interested in? So remember that I did a handful of videos on philosophy of language, a handful of videos on political and social philosophy, normative ethics, philosophy of economics, which is kind of dabbling, trying to see what would be of interest to viewers. But remember that a lot has changed since 2016, when I first started this stuff. And one of the things that changed was that YouTube went from being a platform where people could post videos and comments and exchange ideas to increasingly becoming a streaming service. Okay, so there's two agendas as far as I can determine, as far as YouTube is concerned. There's the market agenda, and then there's the political agenda. Now, on the market side, YouTube is pushing itself, because remember, it's owned by Google. YouTube is pushing itself to become a streaming service. Okay, just like Amazon, just like Disney, Hulu, right? You name it. So one thing that you can anticipate is that over the next few years, there's going to be less emphasis on independent content creation and a lot more emphasis on these kind of corporate approaches. Because right now, they don't really make much of a profit, but that's what they're going to try to do. Okay, so that's the market aspect. Now, one of the things that means is that the YouTube algorithm demotes videos like mine, like the people who I follow, because we don't have a corporate agenda, because we're just interested in discussing philosophical ideas. So we're going to be demoted as a consequence of that. Just expect it to happen. If it hasn't happened to you, it's going to happen. Now, there's also a political side to this. And I'm not going to get too much into it in this particular video, but YouTube, since about 2017, 2018, has been actively shadow banning and banning people who have political content that is controversial in the eyes of the Silicon Valley elites at YouTube. Okay, so that's something to be aware of. So whether you're coming from kind of a right-wing perspective on things, right, or a left-wing perspective, that doesn't seem to matter. Channels are being demoted, they're being shadow banned, they're being banned. That's all relevant for me, because what that means is that eventually it's going to happen to me, right? If I get back on this platform, then it's only a matter of time. So that leads me to the next part of my little speech here, which is, I want to know from you guys what you have been doing as far as alternative platforms. So I'm aware of Gab, Minds, BitChute, Parler is a newer one right now. I'm aware of these alternative sites, and I haven't looked into them very much because the last 4 years I've been living my life. So, I've been following some YouTube content creators, but it's only recently that I've began to flirt with the idea of getting back into it and really trying to make a go of it somehow. So again, I want to know down in the comments section, who are you following and where are you following them at? Okay, and what do you foresee as the future of tech censorship? Because from where I'm sitting, it isn't going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. So I might make a few videos that are geared toward philosophy, but I can see the writing on the wall. I can see what I need to be doing, which is looking elsewhere. But the only following I have right now is on YouTube with all of you. So I want to know what suggestions you have. Okay. How much I decide to get back into this will be determined partially based on your ideas, your suggestions. So something to keep in mind. Yeah, I'm very open to ideas at this point. I know that for the time being, at least, I'll be doing all of it myself. So there's that. I do really like the music from the original 21st Century Examined Life intros. Lovely classical music, I think, really sets the tone. But as far as, the flashy, marketable kind of stuff, I mean, I haven't made up my mind for sure, but I'm always going to prioritize the substance over the style. And if I can have both, that's great, but the substance at the end of the day, that's what matters. So, yeah. So any ideas that you guys have about the way forward, about what to do in a censorship loving culture that just seems to be determined to deplatform people who have alternative viewpoints about any number of different subjects. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you suggest. Because I've been out of the game for a good 4 years. And it's not like, I was ever big anyway. So if I do eventually go back to making videos, one of the things that I'll retain is the kind of analytical breakdown of arguments, right? Where you kind of have the presentation of a main argument, whatever it might be. And then maybe you got a series of objections, and then replies that that person could make. Because there's it's called a dialectic, right? Dialectical. There are turns in an argumentative process. And that's part of doing philosophy, or at least part of what I think is doing philosophy the right way. So if I go back to making videos, I'll definitely make that a priority. I don't know as far as actual text on screen whether I'll do that. Now that's very time consuming. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. But again, this is a trial balloon. I want to see how many people are interested in pursuing the examined life with the sort of stuff that we did 4 years ago for a little while. Are you still into it? Okay. So until next time, this is David. And I want to keep encouraging you to pursue the examined life. It's been a crazy 2020, right? Lots of crazy stuff happening all over the world with the virus and all that stuff. But I'm determined that for 2021, I'm going to be making new changes in my life. So maybe making philosophy videos will be part of it, maybe not. But I will keep pursuing that exam in life, and I would highly encourage you to do the same. Best wishes, one and all.